thing. What do we feel about it? Just quickly, what do we feel about it? Sammy,
you know what upset me the most? It was his manager. His manager saying, I didn't hear anything on the pitch and the referee didn't too. Are you stupid? Of course you're not going to hear anything on the pitch, you idiot. What, you think that man are going to be talking out loudly, saying racial slurs to someone? It doesn't make any sense. No. So if your player is now saying to you, if your player is now saying to you, or a player is now saying this person was racist or whatever, take them seriously. Do you understand? Like, he's not going to now just say it for no reason. But I'm very disappointed in his manager and the way he's approached that situation. That's what I have to say on that.
Yeah. I'm going to jump on that. Based on your statement, I would co-sign that I'm disappointed, but I'm directing it directly to Neymar, simply because of, if the statement is correct that he said, like, based on the fact this is an allegation of racism, etc. If you're claiming you would have put your hands on man, then put your hands on man properly. And I've been saying for the many years in football, I don't think Neymar's a fighter. Far from. So if this was the general case that racism was involved and this opposition player said that he said what he said, Neymar would have never slapped him. And if he claimed to, he should have. Simple as that. Because the actions that you actually took, you deserve the discipline that you got, because it's not going to co-sign the fact of your standpoint of racism. My point is what Neymar is as a player and as a profile should be bigger than what we've seen. That was a poor example and a lack of discipline, or in any general decision of anything that we can say of racism. If you're going to claim to do what you're going to do it, because no man should speak to you in any man. You're going to be slapping man up and taunting him. I'm going to be honest, I did not take that this would be a racism allegation, because I'm not making out their language. I don't know what they're saying, but they're having words. They're saying what they're saying. So I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not going to say that, this clearly isn't the case. He's just chatting shit because he did. Bro, I just really believe if he said that shit to you, deal with man. And deal with it properly. If you're going to do the taunting thing, and just be slapping man up and slapping his head a little bit like some little boy, then you, in my opinion, you're more the fool than the fool himself.
So like,
and that's my opinion.
For me, if you're not a fighter, then I very much always am the person of like, you should never, I don't ever expect someone who's received racism, don't explain away their reaction is their reaction. And we all know Neymar's not a fighter. Man's not going to box anyone up. He can talk, but he's not going to fight anyone. So for me, whoever, like, your reaction's your reaction to it. I'm not with the race, like that guy. He looks like a prick. He probably did say it. So me, I didn't like Tuchel's reaction. You're the manager. Back your player. Back your player.
Yeah.
So for me, if he'll get in trouble for it because he hit a player on the pitch, and law by law, you can't hit a player on the pitch. But the manager, for me, was wrong. You back your player unless he's done something obviously wrong. The Marseille lot are a bunch of clowns doing up like meme videos and photos, especially that Payet prick. Doing up foolishness with his top knot. Don't like that one either. Marseille were trying to be all sly about it. They're meant to be this whole proper left wing, like liberal club. So that thing can't stand if that happens.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. The UEFA ain't gonna do anything. UEFA are a bunch of idiots and they don't care unless it affects their bottom line. So it's just all going to be a whole mess of things. I personally think when it comes to racism, there should be a bigger ban or fine. They won't be, because again, it affects UEFA's bottom line, so they won't do anything. I was perfectly fine with Neymar's reaction. Personally, like I think Chin said, I would have preferred like a bigger reaction, but I think it's personality in it. Like I think if it happened to Kurzawa would have knocked him head off. That's Kurzawa's personality. It depends on the person. So like Neymar, we know what Neymar is. He's a sick baller, but he's not a fighter like that. So it's going to be what the reaction was. And I think the way he reacted to it and the way he was talking about it and the way he was talking, I think it clearly happened, because that seemed like too much of a reaction, too much of the way he was going about it. I think it happened. It was too much of a thing from him, especially from Neymar. I think maybe years ago he was basically saying he wasn't black. And for him now to claim it back, it's like, I think it happened. It's happened. I think it happened.
Yeah, I think maybe that was, everyone has, or not everyone, a lot of black people have their own personal experience when it comes to racism. Maybe that was his first one during this whole pandemic. During the whole time, he's realized who he is, or what he represents. And yeah, at that split second, he was like, "No, I'm not going to have it." And like, I understand from all different sides. Like in terms of one, he's not a fighter. We know he's not a fighter. He's not on that like that. He's just a baller. But two, then he's like, I'm not going to take someone saying that to me, and I don't agree. I don't agree with it. Anyways, no one should take that. No one should take that if someone's saying something like that to them. The only problem that you have is that, following from our conversation from Troy, like big up Troy and that, is that society, is that, the league, everyone is still going to find a way out of it. You're always going to find a loophole out of it. And immediately after the game, it wasn't about the racism. It was more about he's a bad loser. He can't lose. And look at the times where he's lost before and how he reacts. And it's the same thing. He's just using it. It's the card. Oh yeah, you're just using that card again, mate. It's going back to that whole thing. So it's for him to use his status. When you look at certain athletes in the game, like we've looked at, like LeBron James, every week, every game, what is he doing? He's representing, Breonna Taylor, everyone that's been, innocently killed and murdered by the police. Then you've got the female tennis player. I forgot what her name is.
Is it Naomi? Is it
Naomi? Yeah. The painting. You got her as well, who's obviously how she represented, what's going on in the world, and she's talking about it and she's speaking up about it. Neymar's on that level where he should be doing those things, but it's only because now it's slapped him in the face and he's realised, so even I'm a part of it now. So now he's speaking up. So I hope it's a wake-up call for him, but I hope he uses his status in the right way, because he's another person, he's another voice that can influence millions of people. So it's all down to him. I did read the quotes that he made after the game or the next day, and he said, look, I've slept on it, and, I'm not going to answer back in a violent way. I'm going to answer back, playing my football. So I don't know. I don't know what he's to do. It's not just him. It's a whole world thing, or it's a whole league thing within the French that needs to be changed. But yeah, it'll be interesting, because the one quote that made me chuckle was like, he said, look, I got sanctioned for doing a rainbow flip. Yeah. And so what are we going to do about racism? And I just feel like he's asking people to answer, but True say he could be the part of the answer, depending on what he does next. So that's what I'll say. You get me?
If I was Neymar, sorry, to just personally, just by my manager's reaction, I'm telling the club I want to leave.
I'll go.
That's me personally.
And then you'll see everyone will be, no. We're going to do this. We're going to put this in place. We're going to put that. Because all the money, all the sponsorship, all the attention on Neymar, they can't afford, the French league can't afford to see him go. Because then who's going to follow him out the door? Mbappe's going to follow him. That's it. No one's watching the French league. No one's watching it. I don't care. No one's going to watch. So that's what, really and truly, that's what they should be doing. They should be like, you know what? F them, man. Let's go to a different country and play ball where we're end of. Do you know what I mean? But let's see. Let's see what happens.